I'm Karen Bufka from the League of Women Voters in the Northeast Kingdom. We're here at Kingdom Access TV recording 3 different interviews of 3 candidates who are running for 2 one-year seats on the St. Johnsbury Select Board. Since this is the only contested race on the St. Johnsbury ballot for town meeting day, we thought it would be helpful to give you an opportunity to hear directly from these candidates. We're asking them the exact same list of questions so that you can compare and figure out who you think would best serve St. Johnsbury as a select person for the next year. So please enjoy the videos and please contact the candidates if you have any questions for them. Thank you. And I'm here today with Mitchell Jones, who is running for a 1-year term as select person here in St. Johnsbury. I'm going to ask him some questions so that you have the opportunity to hear from him and get to know him a bit before you cast your vote on March 5th, or earlier if you vote early. I will be interviewing all 3 of the candidates in the 1 contested race on St. Johnsbury's ballot on town meeting day for 2 one-year seats on the St. Johnsbury Select Board, so that you will have the opportunity to hear from all of them answering the exact same list of questions. The other 2 candidates are Brendan Hughes and Dennis Smith, so look for their interviews too. Just a brief word about the League of Women Voters. We are a national, nonpartisan volunteer organization open to all genders, which has been helping our democracy to work better since 1920 by encouraging the informed and active participation of citizens in government. If you think you might be interested in helping us do what we do here in the Northeast Kingdom, please contact us. So I'm going to start by reading from the handbook for select persons from the Vermont League of Cities and Town. Just so we have an idea of what is it that Mitchell and Brendan and Dennis are offering to help out with for the town of St. Johnsbury. So for a select board, either 3 or 5 select persons serve overlapping terms of 1 and 3 years, or between 1 and 3 years. So in St. Johnsbury, we have a 5-person select board. Select persons are responsible for general supervision of the affairs of town and must cause to be performed all duties required of the town not committed by law to the care of any particular officer, for instance, the town clerk or the town manager. The select board may enact ordinances and rules in many areas, including traffic regulation, regulating nuisances, managing solid waste, dogs, recreation, and establishing bike paths. The select board warns all town meetings and specifies business to be conducted at the meeting, including proposing an annual budget. So that's an important one. There's a lot more things on the list. They must authorize all town expenditures by signing orders for the treasurer to draw town funds. They supervise the expenditure of the highway fund and have charge of keeping town highways in repair. Let's see what else might be important. They appoint town officers and appoint and remove planning commissioners unless the town has voted to elect them. They appoint the town manager, may remove them if when it's appropriate, and they purchase all insurance for the town. So there's a long list of important things that the select board work on together to help St. Johnsbury, our community, to run. We need it to function. So thanks so much for coming, Mitchell, and being willing to help us to all get to know you better. What inspired you to step up to serve our community here in St. Johnsbury in this way?
So a friend of mine came to me and said that this opening was there and existed and suggested that I run. And when I looked into it, it was still an open seat when I started the process of gathering signatures, and no one was running for that. So I saw it as a need in the community. I felt my background would allow me to do a good job, and I thought I might step up and try to serve the community.
What life experience do you have that is relevant to doing the work of a member of the select board?
So my life experience is kind of a long list of thankless positions with long hours. I'm a farmer, I'm a teacher, I'm a father, and I did research for quite a few years. So personally, as a father and a farmer running a small business, we have a pretty limited budget, and deciding what we're going to prioritize, what things we can afford, and working within a budget is not, I think, unlike what the town has to do. There's a limited budget. There are things that we all want, but there are also things that we need. So being able to prioritize those things and make those decisions, I think, is a big part of the job. As a teacher, I manage a lot of different personalities and learning styles, and to be able to try to find in a diverse group of students what works best for everyone, I think, again, is not unlike what the work as a town manager is. There's a lot of different interests in the town, and trying to find a way to not only please the loudest voices in the room, but as many voices as you can, again, within what is reasonable, and with a long-term objective in mind, is really important. And then my research background and my science background means that I feel pretty objective about things. I really like to look at data, look at numbers, and see what is the best decision to make based on the available information. And so I think those are some of the qualities that and experiences that would help me with this job.
Please describe the personal qualities and skills you feel you could bring to serving the community of St. Johnsbury on its select board.
Sure. So a lot of these kind of go hand in hand with the things I just mentioned, but I've heard having a thick skin is helpful on the select board, and I think I've got that one. And I think I also am somebody who's willing to admit when I'm wrong or I don't know, and then again go to find more data about that, find someone who's an expert in that field, and get more information from them in order to make a more informed decision about that. So the data kind of driven mindset, a bit of humility, I think, and then also I think I feel that I'm an empathetic person, and can see and understand the different places where someone may be coming from, and I think being a teacher, small business owner, father, means that I can kind of see on the same level as a lot of members of this community.
Thank you. Is there anything you have learned from other communities, either positive or negative, which will inform your perspective as a member of the Select Board about how to best handle challenges, but also move St. Johnsbury forward?
Yeah, so as far as other communities that I've lived in, we lived in a small town, my wife and I, and we had our first child in a small town in Maine, and it was much smaller than St. Johnsbury, so it's not a direct corollary, but little things that happen there, like sidewalks. There was a new sidewalk put in that went right by a little public park, and with that improvement, there was really it was kind of like the community came out. It allowed that safe public space for people to be in where they were comfortable and was nice. And so we kind of learned being there that having those nice public spaces that were easily accessible and usable to everyone in the community really kind of promoted community. And that's something, we have a lot of awesome public spaces that are well utilized here. But I think that's something that we felt was really great about that community, and I love to see what we have here in St. J and what could happen to promote those resources.
How will you use this opportunity as an elected leader to build community? Do you have a sense of how you might be able to inspire our neighbors here in St. Johnsbury to participate in building community too?
Yeah, and so I think some of that goes hand in hand with this last question. Finding ways where we can increase the use and availability and accessibility of some of these public spaces, I think will be good. I also want to make it clear that I don't feel like my job on the select board is to necessarily bring these pieces to the table. I think this job is really focuses on looking at the ideas that people bring to us and judging how they fit within our community, and both from a kind of community-based mindset or morale, and from the financial aspect, right? So I think giving a favorable look at community-focused projects, especially that fit well within the budget, would be good. And additionally, I think a big thing that we can maybe do better is increase communication with the town, or even if that communication already exists, make it more accessible and more available to the citizens of St. Johnsbury, so they're able to kind of see what's going on and interact more with what's going on.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just going to say a few words to encourage everybody to vote on town meeting day, which is coming up on Tuesday, March 5th. Now, here in St. Johnsbury, we have an informational meeting the evening before. Now, both of these happen at the St. Johnsbury School. The town meeting information meeting on Monday, March 4th is at 7:30 at the St. Johnsbury School, and voting on town meeting day is from 10 to 7 at the St. Johnsbury School on March 5th. So you can also vote early or by absentee ballot. It's really easy, and you'll feel pretty cool doing it, quite frankly. You don't need an excuse. If you just feel like doing it, you can do it. I've done it a couple times, and I did, quite frankly, feel super glamorous doing it. So you can either stop by the town clerk's office, you can go to the My Voter page on the Secretary of State's website, or you can find a link about getting an absentee ballot on St. Johnsbury's town website. So those are the ways to connect with voting absentee or early. But you'd also need to make sure that you've registered. This is also really easy. You can check your registration status with Stacy at the town clerk's office. You can check it on the My Voter page feature on the Secretary of State's website, or you can find your way to registration information also on the St. Johnsbury Town's website. So that's pretty cool that St. J's making it easy in their way for us to connect with the right information, because clearly they want our voices to participate on town meeting day or even early. So Vermont is so cool in so many ways, but one of the ways it's cool is it's making it super easy for us to participate in our democracy by making it easy for us to vote. And if you don't get organized to do your registration before March 5th, you can just show up at the polls and register and vote right then. So please do. We need everyone's voices so that we build a strong community that reflects all of us, especially on town meeting day when we are making decisions about our town. These are as local as they can get. This is sort of a democracy as pure as it can get. So decisions like who will take care of our town in various ways, how we will spend money on the needs of our town, and especially on the education of our children. These are the kind of important things that we're going to decide on March 5th. So please do prepare yourself to vote. Find out as much as you can about the candidates and issues. All of the candidates for these select board seats, Mitchell, Brendan, and Dennis, are willing to field questions, so their contact information is available. Please do contact them. They're our neighbors, so if you have questions for them, please go ahead and ask. Well, Mitchell, just thank you so much for running, and thank you for joining us so we could get to know you better.
Thank you.